Markelle Fultz suffered a torn ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. I'm Madeline Burke for Sports Illustrated alongside Ben Pickman and Michael Pena. And guys, a tough break for the former #1 overall pick who's had a very rough road in the NBA. But will he ever realize his potential in this league?
It's a good question. I mean, Markelle Fultz, you mentioned it's been a long journey for him, right? He played just 33 games combined in his first 2 years with the Sixers before joining the Magic. And in Orlando, he's carved out a pretty steady role. If you look at it right now, prior to the injury, he's averaging 13 and 5 in 27 minutes of action, and he leads the Magic in touches per game, right? He's become kind of a steady force, a lead playmaker for them. This is both a personal bummer because of how hard he's worked to get to this point, but also is a pretty sizable loss for the Magic going forward.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Ben. I mean, he's coming into his own last season after he was traded to Orlando, and this season before he tore his ACL was the starting point guard on a team that had one of the more impressive records in the Eastern Conference and really valued their continuity, and was just signed to a contract extension, a big contract extension. So this is pretty devastating for him, obviously, from everything that he's been through. In terms of just how he's been playing this season, I mean, the shot just still isn't falling. But this is someone who's really learned to get to the basket and finish at the basket, and he was starting to take strides in that area. So it's a huge bummer for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough watching a guy who, coming out of college in the Pac-12 was a guy who jumped off the page athletically, really struggled to find his shot in his rookie year with Philly. Finally seems like he's figuring out who he is as an NBA player and then out for another season. So continues to stretch out the journey of finding himself in a role of an NBA basketball player. Guys, thanks so much for the insight.